This is Carly, and today I'm here to share my craft room with you, also known as Studio K. Lots of you have asked to see what my craft room looks like, so here it is. Welcome! When you walk into my craft room, this is what you're going to see. This is where I spend my lovely crafternoons, and I feel so grateful and so happy that I have a room all to myself, that I get to make my cards and my crafts in. I remember I used to craft out of the corner of my bedroom, so to have an entire room is a dream come true. Even if I have mismatched furniture and my room probably won't end up featured in any magazine, I am so tickled pink to have it. So we'll start on the left wall of my craft room, and this is kind of my home office armoire. I have my printer in here, and underneath it I have some 12 by 12 papers and stacks. And above it in these craft boxes, I have different stamps from different stamp companies like MFT, Tim Holtz, Heartfelt Creations, and others. I store my punches in these decorative boxes, which are labeled on the side. And on the inside lid, there is an image sheet of each of the punches in that box so I can find which one I need right away. On this shelf, I have a lot of my Tim Holtz Distress inks, stains, stickles, buttons, and ribbon. My son helped me build this little shelf so I can display my 3D crafts. On this bookcase, I have some go-to sentiment stamps as well as some ink and mounts. On the second and third shelf, I have 6x6 paper pads and 8x8 paper pads, and at the bottom I have a little storage. Here's where I store some of my ribbon. I store them in the clear ribbon cases and as well as the ribbon boxes below, and then you see on the side where I have my Prismacolor pencils. And here you can see a side view of the ribbon boxes, and each box is labeled so I can go to whichever kind of ribbon I need. Above those colorful boxes, I have where I store my Copic markers, and then my laptop sits at a little table next to my desk. I love storing my Copics in this little bag because they're organized and then ready for me to grab and go. I store them by blending buddies, so each compartment has the corresponding colors that go together. My scraps are organized by color in these colorful bins. And on this DVD rack, I store my Stampin' Up!, my Magnolia stamps, and my large Spellbinder dies. Now we'll move forward to the other side of my craft room. Here's where I display some of my cards. This is my main work table, and I love that it's in front of this big window. I get all kinds of light, and I see this beautiful tree in front of me also. I love this rotating organizer. I have all my most important tools in there, and my go-to Viva colors are attached with a little bit of Velcro, so they're ready at the go. And the rest of my pens are stored upside down in this little pink bag. And here's where you'll find some of my ink pads. In the top two drawers, I have Stampin' Up!, and in the bottom drawer, I have all my Distress inks, and you'll notice that I keep the little foam pad with each ink pad. Now off to the other side of my craft room. Hello Cricut, and behind it is my Gypsy. Then there are 4 drawers with lots of things in it that you'll see in a minute, and then in the middle are my 12 by 12 spaces for my American Crafts cardstock. In the top drawer, I have things that I need for my Cricut as well as heat embossing. In the second drawer, I have ribbons and trims. In the third drawer, I have buttons, buttons, buttons. I love buttons. In the last drawer, I have lots of things like glitters, powders, re-inkers, and other things that I don't really use all the time. And next to that, I have these Sterlite bins that contain a lot of different embellishments, and on top of that sits my 2 boxes of embossing folders. You might have seen my white box on my blog, but I've had to add a few more embossing folders to my collection, so I needed to expand to a second box. Love them! Just so these plastic Sterlite bins wouldn't be empty and boring and plain, I decorated them with beautiful scrapbook paper that I laminated and just attached to the front of each drawer, and each drawer is labeled. And as you can see here, in the first box I have twine, and then in the box underneath it I have pins. This is a little sorter I bought from a local Joann's that was closing, and it houses my 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Our next stop is my die cutting center. I keep my Spellbinder dies in these CD cases on the CD tower, and as you can see, each of them is labeled. The dies are held together in the cases with magnetic strips. I don't use the whole sheets because this is more economical and it works just fine. This is where I keep anything I need for die cutting, like mats or plates or shims. I also keep the little embossing borders. I also have extra long dies that don't fit anywhere else. And crafting takes energy, so of course I have my healthy supply of Jelly Bellies standing by. And this is probably my pride and joy of my craft room, which is my Hello Kitty Big Shot. I just love, love, love it. And the final stop to my craft room is my craft closet. Here's where I keep my go-to Martha Stewart punches, my Stampin' Up! Punches, and my EK Success punches. You might have noticed that I have some albums in this closet, and this is what they're for. So this one happens to be one for my Sizzix dies. And this is like a little catalog for me so that I know which ones I have. This one happens to be one for my Tim Holtz dies. And then it's similar as my Sizzix one, but strictly for Tim. Then I have one for my paper tray ink stamps, and it's a catalog of all the stamps that I have. And I also have the same thing for Stampin' Up! And at the very top of my closet, I have boxes where I store more of my dies, including my Tim Holtz dies, as you can see here. I added this little 3-foot table so that my friend can use it when she comes over to craft with me, and the rest of the time I use it as an overflow table when my own craft table gets too cluttered with stuff. Well, thanks so much for coming to visit me at Studio K, and I hope that you enjoyed your visit. Come anytime. Thanks. Bye.